to get to Jeff in just a minute. I'm going to go through the numbers, and I got to tell you something. I'm beginning to get a little excited and see a little bit of a change in these numbers. So here's what they are. I pulled them up about a week ago, and they were getting close. We haven't had a month's supply here in a long time. Well, this morning I pulled them up at about, I don't know, maybe 7 o'clock, and we had 2,897 single-family residences for sale. We're now, I pulled them just before we went on, just before the show started. We have 2,908 available and only 2,920 sold. So we're 12 houses away from a month's supply. So we're getting there. It's going in the right direction. And I even saw the rakes drop the ticks yesterday. So everything's looking just fantastic if you are someone who's interested in buying a home. There are 653 condominiums and townhomes available. And of course, there's still 53 beautiful manufactured homes waiting for somebody to pick those up. Great place to live. It's going to be a great weekend. We got the winds is gone. The weather's beautiful. I want to talk about something that's coming up. We're having a VA rep is having a skivvy and sock drive. We're collecting for our veterans everything from underwear, socks, undershirts, T-shirts, shampoo, soap, toothpaste, toothbrushes, mouthwash. It says here non-alcoholic, so non-alcoholic. Any gift cards or gasoline card. Listen, folks, if you can't support your veterans, you shouldn't be supporting anybody. So please, you can drop them off here at my office at 8912 Spanish Ridge Drive, Suite 210. Anytime between 9 and 5, I'll be collecting them, as will Mark Martinez and Brad Wolf. But please, come on by my office here. Any questions, you can call me. If you want some other places to drop it off, or I can come pick it up for you. My cell phone is 702-236-1095, and it's all about the veterans here. We're a veteran community. If you can give any help at all, we sure would appreciate it, and you know they would appreciate it too. Okay, I am thrilled to have Jeff back on the show. Jeff Michelman's back here. Jeff, welcome.
Thank you for having me today. I'm excited to be here.
You're one of the genuine good guys. You're a good friend and one of the genuine good guys and well-respected guys in our industry.
Very kind, very
No,
kind.
very true, very true. And I don't think anybody has a better pulse on the market than the title reps. Yeah. And I don't know any better title reps than Jeff Michelman.
Oh, that's kind to say. I wish I had the magic elixir right now, like Baby Billy on the Fantastic
Baby Billy.
Baby Billy, he had the magic elixir, and I wish I had it too. But you know, we're out there helping whatever realtors, lenders, how we can to look to build business. But right now, it's interesting. The market, it has slowed down because the interest rates have gone up, and I'm hearing 5.5, 5 3/4, right?
Yeah. I think they took a little dip yesterday, but you're right. They're well up there. Well, actually, let's face it. In my lifetime, I bought my first home in 1980. I bought it on a land contract because rates were 18 to 21%. I bought it on a land contract at 11%, and Jeff, I was bragging about it. 11%. I was excited. When I bought my home here in 2005, rates were 7%. I never gave it a thought. Yeah. The problem we're having is people are looking at, wow, I had 2.7. My mother had 2.75 and 2.99 and 3 1/4, and now they're talking 5s. And people it's still cheap money, isn't it?
It's still good money, But what I think it is, the housing prices. You have to wonder though, should we be focusing on out-of-state buyers, people that are coming here to live in Vegas? Vegas is still one of the most affordable places to live in the country, no matter what. We have no sales tax, no employment tax. Of course we have sales tax. We have no employment tax. And I think I was talking to somebody yesterday on the phone about this. I think we should be focusing on out-of-state buyers, people that are looking to move here, people that are still looking to have a second home, retirees. It's still a great place to be, but the market is, it's tough right now because the average casino worker cannot get approved, and I think that's one of the biggest issues.
That is a big issue. I mean, they're the big segment of our population. They're hardworking people, and they, as well as anybody, deserve to own a home.
Yeah. And so that's been a tough thing. And even, do you know what the price, you said manufactured homes. I heard that the prices are like up close to 200 on something like that.
They're in the high 170s. I've seen, you can still get a nice man. But look I know you go back a year ago, And you could buy a nice manufactured home for $130,000, $120,000. So it's changed, but still, you can get a nice double wide, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. I just sold one a few months ago in a senior community over by Desert Inn and on the east side.
I know
Beautiful
exactly what you're
community.
talking about.
For $179,000. You know,
Wow.
there's 1,600 square feet. You got a nice private yard. It's a nice community. It's still, it may not be your dream home, but it still beats the heck out of paying $2,000 a month in rent.
Right. Even, what about condos? How is it with condos, with the sales?
They've gone up a lot.
Oh,
You know, the condo prices and townhome prices have gone up, and the biggest issue with condos, of course, is for a lot of people, they qualify for that condo, but now all of a sudden they got to pay an extra $250 a month for the HOA, or $350, or the condo HOAs are not cheap.
no, I know. Yeah, 300. I know. It's interesting. Look, it's different. Look, it's the year 2022. And, I don't see prices going down.
No, I don't see prices going down. What I'm hoping for is we just get some stabilization in this appreciation. 20%, 26%, 18%, which is what it kind of is now. Even, it's ridiculous.
It really
4% is a healthy appreciation. And that's pretty much what historically homes have been at, 3 to 4%. This has just been a little bit of a, because of the, and I just heard someone talk about this, and I don't think I've talked about this in the show before. If I have, I'll repeat myself, but it's really important that everybody understand. One of the reasons we're having this shortage is 10 years ago, the largest segment of the American population are millennials. And 10 years ago, they weren't buying, they weren't renting, and all of a sudden now, they're out buying in droves.
Right.
And I just think that nobody was prepared for this to happen so quickly. All of a sudden, boom, the average age is 33. They want to buy a home. You can't blame them. They're making good money. They're working hard. And it's just added a lot more people to that buying pool.
Yeah, they have. And I believe if you can buy a home, do it. Don't be a renter anymore, because rents are going to continue to go up, specifically here in the Las Vegas Valley. And if you really look at it, if you even at a certain price, your mortgage will still be less on a 3-bedroom home than renting that 3-bedroom apartment.
Absolutely. You know Jason Mavora.
Yes, of course. Great lender, great guy, good friend.
He's been on before. He talked to our group a while ago and made a great point of why, for those of you that think maybe we're going to have a crash, the bubble's going to burst, here's what Jason said, and it made nothing but good sense. Back in 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, people were using their homes as ATM machines. Right. And I remember when I was listing REO properties, I had to go give the cash for keys. Right. And you see these homes, they paid 2.25. They pulled out $300,000 because of all the appreciation. And then they walked, because all of a sudden now they're upside down, and they had an arm where the rate was here and the payment was here, and all of a sudden it jumped up. So now you got someone that says, wait a minute, my payment is doubled, I'm upside down, I'm walking, and they can easily go rent. Today we don't have the arm, so we have 98% of all homeowners have equity in their home. So if their homes do go down, they're still paying that payment that is affordable. If they want to walk and go rent, their payment's going to go up substantially.
That's right. People are also not cashing out now anymore. They're not going to give up that 2.75, 2.5% rate. They're just not going to do it and cash out anymore. Right.
So nobody sees any type of a bubble bursting. And that's, again, to what you say, is still a great time to go buy a home.
Yeah, it is. It really is. We're just going to go to a traditional market, I believe.
Yes.
I really do believe that. But go out and buy a home. If you can do it, because being a renter is not the way to be.
And if it doesn't have to be your dream home.
No, it doesn't.
Anything to get a piece of the pie.
I agree with Ellie on that. Just be an owner. It's better than doing the Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's a little more secure. And look at rents. Let's face it. You can go. I got a gal right now that's in a panic mode, and unfortunately, I can't help her. Her credit is pathetic. She had a repo recently. She can't get a rental, but her landlord is selling the property. She's giving her 60 days. She's gonna have to find family to live with, because she has nowhere to go. And that's another one of the big forgotten problems with renting. You have absolutely zero control. You just completely give up control of your life when you decide to rent. Look at, some people are going to rent from a particular landlord for 20 years. And life's going to be beautiful. You love them, they love you. And then there are other situations like this gal I know who, the guy just wants to cash out. He's an elderly gentleman. He wants to just cash out and enjoy his money. And nothing personal, but she's out of luck. That's lack of control from a renter.
Right. That's so true. That's so true. But this market, look, if it's going to level off right now. We don't know. What do you think? We don't know what's going to happen with rates. Even we don't even know inflation. There's so many factors.
No, everything
So
I
many
read, I
factors.
don't think we're going to get past 6. I really don't, but I don't really know. But you are seeing you have, like I said earlier, you have a better pulse. So you're seeing a little bit of a slowdown now.
Yeah, it's actually a big slowdown. It's been a slow. I shouldn't even say that. I don't want to say the sky is not falling.
But see, a slowdown is not a bad thing.
Right. I agree with you. This reminds me of 1999. This does not remind me of when we were crashing in 06, 07.
Right.
This is just, we're slowing down, we're leveling off. Rates have gone up to also, I think, slow down the market a little bit because it was going too fast. But I believe values are going to hold, and this is the future. And because especially now with inflation, I don't see deflation happening.
No. I did read something this morning that I thought was at least encouraging, that inflation seems to be slowing down a little bit.
It is. The other thing is, if you want to know about economic forecasts, we have our group here at First American. We have a weekly video that goes out in an email. Please contact me. My direct phone number is 702-265-8989 or jmichelman@firstam.com, and I'll get you signed up on our weekly economic forecast that we do send out.
That'd be great. Thank you. And I'll post that information on the site so you can, if you missed it just now, you can get it off the page later today. But yeah, it is. Look at everything. The world has gone crazy. COVID has not gone away. I just got back from a week in D.C.
Okay.
And there was a little outbreak there. Not there, but when we got home, there was a bit of an outbreak.
And so, wow. And how was the plane with no mask? How
It
was
was
it?
fantastic. I felt very comfortable. It was nice. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was great. It was like getting back to normal. And we are getting back to normal, but we aren't 100% at normal yet.
Yeah, we just, everybody just has to be safe and, be careful. If you don't feel good, stay home.
Common sense. That's all it is.
Like anything in life, even before COVID,
Right.
I didn't want people's germs. I was a germphobe then. You just have to have common sense.
Yeah.
But they're saying that there's going to be another COVID piece happening.
Yeah,
We'll see.
and that's fine because it seems like all these variants, each one that comes out is a little weaker and weaker. And they may be more contagious, but the actual result of it is a weaker illness, it seems like.
Well, it looks like it's going to become like the flu. Ultimately, it'll be just like the flu. It'll be like getting the flu.
Right.
Just stay healthy, vitamin C, treat your body right, eat the right thing. Don't eat fast food when you get to a certain age. It just doesn't agree. So
People should drink a lot, shouldn't they?
drink a lot of water.
Drink water.
Oh, you didn't
I mean
mean
alcohol.
A good scotch every day will keep you healthy.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Well, yeah, so we know the market's the market. It's crazy right now, but people are still buying homes. They are still, saving money from what they're renting with. We all know that. And let's talk about something a little lighter.
What do you want to talk about? You want to
Comedy.
Talk comedy a little bit?
First of all, give someone a little bit of a background on you. Not everybody saw the last episode.
Oh,
Tell everybody
goodness
a little background on
gracious.
Jeff Michelman.
Wow. I was born, I'm from New York originally, moved out here in 1995. I've been here, this will be my 27th year out here on July 10th. So I was always a salesperson. I'm Jewish, and Jews are funny. Right? Don't you there's there's a documentary, I think it's on Amazon, about Jews being funny. It's very interesting. So I always wanted to be a stand-up comic, but I had stage fright. And then it was in 2014, Nieri Melandra, who is one of the singers from Zoe Bowie, invited me to be in her show because I didn't think her host was funny that week. She goes, okay, next week you're on. I go, I basically read the menu at the restaurant where we had the show at. I told 2 stupid jokes, and the rest was history. I started doing it weekly. I've been fortunate enough to play at the LA Comedy Club. I've had my own show at a restaurant called The Mix. I've had a karaoke comedy show at a couple of places. Both bars are out of business. Not my fault.
Are you sure of that?
I don't know. Maybe. I know. And I haven't done any stand-up since this pandemic has gone on. I have not been on stage since February 2020, though. If you meet up with me and we sit at a table, you get your own free stand-up show. But I'd like to do something, we were talking about VA rep, helping the veterans. We had Comedy for a Cause for a couple of years ago. We're talking about reviving that hopefully this year.
That was a great event. We held it down to Stoney's.
Right at Stoney's.
And I mean, it was a great event. We must have had a couple hundred people down there.
Yeah, it was.
Raised a lot of money, had a lot of laughs.
A lot of fun. Butch Bradley, who hosts the 10 p.m. show over at the LA Comedy Club at Stratosphere, little plug for him. It is a great show. First of all, go out and see it. He was the host that night, and we appreciate him and hope that he'll come along again and help us out.
Yeah, that would be great. It was a great event, and it is for a great cause. You were also talking about putting on some type of a comedy show for the Realtor
Yes.
organization. I've been seeing Jeff do comedy. He's funny. He's also was kind
thank
enough
you.
to bring me up a couple times.
Yes.
I wasn't so funny.
He was
But
very funny, and it was a very enjoyable night.
I will make sure I bone up and get some new material. Talk about that. What would you like to do with that?
I'd like to get a group of realtors together. We have an open mic. Think about it. I've come across different agents have spoken to me about wanting to do open mic. People that even just I'll sit with will be working on marketing, and they'll tell me some stories, and I feel it would be great. So I know that one of the organizations at LVR will be talking to them. Hopefully later this year they will get us to do an open mic night and get the realtors out there. It'll be a lot of fun. There's many funny people I know that we work with, talented. You got great stories. And I just hope that Will Smith doesn't come up on stage and punch me in the head. It's the only thing I'm worried about. So, but...
It is fun. Look, I think I told you I went and saw Ian Palast
right?
about a month ago or so. Out at,
He was over at Art House.
yes,
Art House.
yes, I couldn't think of the Art House. And, great presence, stage presence. He was great. There's a lot of, like you said, let's face it, if you're a realtor for more than a couple of years, and you're dealing with the public, you've got some funny stories.
Come on, some of the houses you've walked into, I remember when I was a lender still, this was back in the mid-2000s, I was working with this agent. We went to a house where there was dog poop in every room, every single room, and the people didn't even pick it up. We laughed about this house for years. It was one of the funniest things ever.
Yeah.
The joke is, I realize I'm not going to tell you the whole thing because it's too. I think about it. It's funny in private. It's not funny on this podcast right now. So anyway.
But there were I had one incident. This isn't really a joke for a stand-up, but this is the truth. I was doing BPOs, and what a BPO is a broker price opinion. A bank will reach out to a realtor and say, listen, we're going to be putting this home, we're going to be taking this off the market, repossessing it, we want to put it up back on the market for sale. They'll send out to maybe 2 to 3 realtors to go out and get their broker, that agent's opinion of what the price should be. So they give you the address and how to get in. I'm up over by Washington and Eastern area. I forget the street, it's not important. But I'm on the wrong street, and I get to the house, and I don't see any lockbox. I can't figure how can I get into this house. So just for the heck of it, I tried the door, and it opened up. I thought, okay, great. They left it open for me. No, I was right numbers, wrong street. I opened the door up, and there's an elderly gentleman sitting at his kitchen table reading the newspaper, stark naked.
Oh.
Scared the bejeebers out of me, out of him. I said sorry. I ran out, and I hope I didn't give the poor guy a heart attack. But I wasn't going to stay around until he got dressed. I'll tell you that right now.
I don't know what would be worse, the naked old man or the dog poop.
Yeah.
You guys, let's take a poll. Please send in right now.
They're both crazy, but you do meet a lot of run across a lot of interesting situations as a realtor and as a lender and as a title rep.
So I think it would be great for to do this open mic.
I do
I'm
too.
definitely going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen
Good.
at some point. But yeah, we all need to laugh. Everybody needs a good laugh again, and we just need to
More than ever, man.
more than ever. You know, I don't know what comedy right now. It's interesting. You know, Dave Chappelle last week. Somebody rushed the stage. You just don't know what are people thinking. What are people thinking?
I don't know what people are thinking. I've heard other comedians speak, and like Jerry Seinfeld said he will not play colleges anymore. He won't play them because of this ridiculous wokeness, where you can't say anything without upsetting somebody. These are jokes. And what happened with Smith and what happened with Chappelle is getting a little crazy, where you can't tell. Comedians are supposed to be funny.
Right.
And part of the humor, look, if you've ever I've sat in audiences where I'm the joke. They make a joke out of me.
Right.
I'm sitting in front.
Yep.
They pick on you. Hey, I laugh. You take it as a joke, and that's it. It's becoming more difficult for a comedian to be a comic anymore.
It is, and if you're sitting in the front, you're going to be heckled. It's as simple as that. But I even think about going back to the Will Smith thing and Jada Pinkett. You know, she was being compared to Demi Moore when she was at her hottest. Oh, what an insult! You're being compared to one of the hottest women on the planet in the 1990s. I think she should have went with it personally.
There was a comedian.
I said that now here.
Who was the comedian that played over at the Vinny something? He was
The insult guy at the Flamingo. I walked in on this guy, and I didn't even know. I walked in at a little show up here in Summerlin one night. He was doing a favor, and I walked in late, and the guy starts ripping me to shreds, saying, "Who is this guy walking in? Is he walking in sitting on a chair?" And he insulted me. What was I going to do? He was a comic. He was making everybody laugh. This is what it is. Steve Martin once said, comedy is not pretty sometimes.
No, but I went and saw a buddy of mine, Rick Weineman, was in from Detroit visiting. We went to that show. We knew up front what the guy did. So
Right.
we expected it. We actually didn't even sit far in the back. We sat kind of in the where he could pick on us. We didn't care. We could take it. He didn't bother us, but he sure razzed a lot of other people. But you went there knowing that was what it is. Today, even if you go there knowing the guy's that way, people will get upset about it.
Yeah, I agree, because I don't even know, I hosted a lot of those shows, even the Eclipse Theater, that was the art house. That was the show Ian was in. Thanks to Phil Pareto, who always put me on. That was his Tickle Me Comedy Club. I want to give him a plug also here. I feel like, I'm giving everybody a plug today.
Why
It's
not?
like, yeah, I hope we didn't have to charge them any fee.
No royalties, huh?
Okay, no royalties, good. So, I think about when we'd have different people visit to watch the show, and I would make jokes about them. Now, I don't know what's going to be right or wrong at this point, because I don't want to get canceled. I like working at First American Title, where I'm here to help you market and build your business.
Talk about First American Title a bit. Are they the largest in the country?
Yes, we're a Fortune 100 company. We are the largest, and yes, we are. Fortune 100. Our stock has stayed steady. Also, my stock didn't drop that much, which I'm real happy about. So it proves how strong our company is, and I'm proud to work under the Eagle. We also have home. They also have other branches, home warranty. We also own a bank. We have our own bank, it's called First Funding. And that's another thing with certain lenders. We do this thing. It's a flex close, where even if the funds are not in our account yet, which technically they are, if everything is in place, we will close your deal even if it's after hours and it's not recorded.
Speaking of that, let's talk about that new program you guys have.
Oh, the Ron Remote Online Notary. So Ron Notary, this is, look, we're now in 2022, and life has changed, and people are sometimes away. We can do a notary via live video. What you do is it is done remotely. There is a system that it does have to go through to check that you are who you are with your forms of ID. They also ask 4 or 5 questions, just like if you're applying for a car, where was the last place you lived?
Okay.
What school did you go to? You have to answer 4 of those 5 questions right to go on to get this notary done, because it really is a check. Anybody can go on video and we can say it's them and it's not. So there is many checks and balances. I'm not allowed to tell you. We've had even a very famous actor was on a movie set and he needed to close his house in Las Vegas. I can't say his name due to privacy issues. I want to. He's a cool, fun guy. Great. People loved him. Movies for years, since the 80s, he started out. And he was in like a Western gear on the remote online video. But it was him, his driver's license. He answered the questions properly and everything. You knew it was him. But there is checks and balances for this. And you can even be in the Middle East, in China, and you need to close your deal. You can do it that way on remote online notary. RON Notary is what it's called.
Ron, R-O-N.
R-O-N.
That's fantastic. Look, you guys give great service. I've been working with you for a long time, and that is what any realtor wants. We want service, and you guys have always provided stellar service. How many offices do you have?
So we have four. We have one Green Valley Parkway. We have our Russell Road right over here with the Laura May Noulette. Jamie Lobby is your favorite.
She's great.
Okay. Then we have our Charleston, which is Charleston Hualapai, right over by the delicious Vintner Grill. I keep doing these plugs here. I feel like Phil Rizzuto.
That is a great place. Have you been to their happy hour?
Yes, I've been to the happy hour.
Good.
It's very good, but I love lunch there. It's the power lunch place to go. And they have really good food. I especially like their lamb bolognese is my favorite. So we have an office right over there. Raina Peterson, Monica Ruiz, Maria Rampa, Tara Visnick are all in that office. Then we have our Buffalo office, which is our main branch. Rachel Carter is the manager over there. Also, Michelle Hinkle has her own group. The other thing in real estate, what about the hedge funds? What do you think about all that?
Well, I'm not a fan of them. Obviously, they've not done anything good, in my opinion, for our market. They're one of the big reasons I think we've had this struggle with inventory. What do you think?
Yeah, and I think they're going to slow down now because the prices have come to a height.
I hope so, because we need to get back to a more traditional market. Traditional meaning where, you put your home on the market, you sell it. Ideally, you sell it to a person that's going to live there. Right. I was at a political affairs committee meeting a few weeks ago, and the talk about it was that what we'd like to see happen is a law passed that, or some restrictions on rental restrictions. So if a new community pops up, they can only rent to, say, 10% of the homes. And then if you're an investor, if you're this hedge fund and you're going to buy blocks of homes, that you pay a penalty. There's an extra cost for you to gobble up all these homes. There's got to be something to level the playing field, or the average Joe just can't compete.
Yeah, I know. What do you think about Airbnb is another thing that's happening.
Airbnb is a great place if you want to buy a property and you have the patience and the willingness to put everything together. You can make a lot of money per night. I mean, it's really
people that are doing Airbnb specifically in the Palms Place, Signature, MGM. If you guys are doing that, I have somebody that runs that, property manages that. It's very interesting. You reach out to me. I can put you guys together.
Airbnb, though, you have to be careful because it's allowed in certain areas and not in others. And the problem is, and I have a gal that was considering buying one. She ended up walking. And I don't blame her because she wasn't able to apply until she bought. Once she bought, she could go and apply and find out, you can't get it because the house next door already has one. Yeah. So, or they don't have, but while you're going through the process, they get approved.
Right.
And then you can't get approved. So you bought this home and you didn't want to buy this. So you're taking, it's a bit of a risk. It's a great reward.
It is.
But it's a great risk.
If you don't have a license, though, if you're currently in a home and you don't have a license, don't do it because you will be fined and you're going to be, it's not pretty.
Yeah, it can get expensive, and again, it's a risk. It's that risk-reward ratio. We know the greater the risk, the greater the reward, but there is a great risk in the Airbnbs of becoming a one-time owner, and you just don't know.
And I do think it's better than putting your money in Coinbase. So if you want to buy one, call Ellie, please.
That's right. That's right. Well, listen, we're getting to the end of the show. I'm so glad you came. You're always a great guest and great fun to be with. And
this was fun
a great
today.
guy here in town.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed this once again.
Before we split, tell everybody quickly your favorite restaurant in town.
Favorite restaurant in town right now? Oh my goodness, that's a tough one. I got to tell you, it is Vintners currently.
That's a great place.
And you know what? Bella Vita. I got to tell you, Bella Vita out at Green Valley. I enjoy their chicken parm is awesome, and they're opening in Boca Park soon, so I'm excited about that. Bella Vita is another great spot, and it's also it's another great spot to network in. You'll be surprised who you meet out there.
That's good. Good.
All
And your
right.
favorite show?
Favorite what show? Where
On the Strip. Anywhere
on
in
the
town.
Strip. I've been home. My favorite show right now is Ozark on Netflix.
All right.
I don't know.
Did you see the end of it?
Yes, I did. And
Don't say anything else.
Unbelievable. But one more show. If you have Paramount Plus, it's called The Offer. It's about the making of The Godfather. If you like mafia, it's a great one.
Sounds good.
All right.
Jeff, thanks a bunch. Beta, as always, thank you for putting all this together.
Oh, pleasure.
Thank you, buddy.
Pleasure,
Thank you
my
very
friend.
much. Appreciate it.
Thank
Have a good, safe weekend, everybody. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.